As the boycott of the National Football League picks up steam, the spotlight on the players who are protesting the national anthem keeps getting brighter. Even though their protest is on the verge of bankrupting the NFL, the league has decided that it won't put a stop to their disrespect, that this is the one area where the players will have free rein. Despite what is being said by the players, that the protest is meant as no disrespect toward the military or those who have served in the past, it's hard not to see this as a slap in the face to everything patriotic. The entire premise of the protest is to draw attention to what they're calling a broken system. They're saying that the country is, as a whole, racist and that police are targeting the black community. Since most of their former fans don't agree, or at least don't appreciate the protest, everyone at the NFL's jobs hangs in the balance. What the NFL needs right now is some good press, but with players like New York Giants Olivier Vernon around, they're not about to get it. Vernon, like many other players, insists that he means no disrespect to the military, but his actions at a game on Thanksgiving would say otherwise. The defensive end knelt while the anthem was being sung by a military hero just before the Giants game against the Washington Redskins, and people aren't happy about it. Giants defensive end Olivier Vernon kneels during This shouldn't come as any great surprise though, since Vernon recently told Newsday that he planned to keep kneeling until he feels that his cause has been made right. No word on what that will look like, or its ETA, but until then, Vernon will be kneeling. Vernon is the only Giants player who continues to protest during the national anthem, and he plans to do so for the foreseeable future. Still hoping to raise awareness about social injustice and racial inequality in America, the defensive end will not relent in the face of criticism that continues to come his way from fans who believe he is disrespecting the military by not standing for the anthem. What it would take for me to stand is if people can understand what the whole message is behind it, Vernon told Newsday. That would actually help a whole lot. But everybody doesn't see things that way and tries to distort what the message was from the beginning, which is basically social injustice on African Americans and police brutality. Vernon understands that not everyone respects his decision to take a knee, but he remains convinced that the best way to draw attention to the issues he's most concerned about is to continue his form of protest. Would there ever come a time that he would stand for the anthem, unless we can work something out and find a solution and try to address what the real issue is, he said, I'll continue to take a knee. I really don't care what people outside have to say. I just believe in what's right and what's wrong, and I'm going to show support for what I believe in. Vernon said he continues to be criticized for not standing but that he tries to ignore most of it. I get criticism all the time, he said. If it was anything that actually bothered me, I would care. There's stuff that some people say that comes out of their mouth that is just ignorant and uneducated, so I just keep it moving and I don't really address anything anybody has to say. If they can't come at me on something intellectual, then I don't have a response for you. He also isn't concerned by the recent television ratings decline, at least some of which has been attributed to fans being turned off by the anthem protests. At the end of the day, there's a First Amendment right as an American citizen, Vernon said. You have a right to protest peacefully. Protests aren't supposed to be comfortable. Some people aren't going to understand. At the end of the day, he shows up for work and puts on a uniform just like millions of other people. And just like the rest of us, he has to do what his boss says, or he'll lose his job. If his boss says that it's okay to kneel on the job, then he can do it, but if his boss says he has to stand while working, then he'd better stand. And if that company goes out of business because its employees have made themselves so unpleasant, and the owner refused to ask them to stop being unpleasant or fire them when they didn't, then both he and the owner will be out of work. None of that has anything to do with the Constitution. It has to do with how a free market works in a free country, like the one we live in, and the one that our military veterans have fought and died for. Call me old-fashioned, but I think that deserves enough respect to stand for a few moments, once per game. H/T, Newsday. Share if you will always stand for the anthem.